Sorry, I'm taking so. There we go. Fucking finally. There we go. Well, good lord. I apologize for that, guys. To my YouTube brothers and sisters, I apologize, man. Like, seriously, I don't know what the hell happened there. But anyway, we're here. We're live. Let's get right into it. And let's start with the Doghouse episode. Ooh, what's going on, everybody? It is your man, Big Dog, here. Welcome to episode 221 of the Doghouse. Fuck me. I hit the wrong button. That's okay. Anyway, thank you guys for being here as always. Thank you guys for joining me for the streams. Today's gonna be a pretty light episode, if you want to say that. We got a few topics to talk about, but before we get into that real quick, I just want to let you guys know I am going to be I'm going to be trying to do at least 2 videos this weekend, or at least starting 2 videos. One of them is going to be a short video about something that I want to try, that I want your opinion on. And the second video is going to be more Twitch nonsense, because as you guys could probably tell, Twitch is at it again. I swear, this platform, they just stay fucking up, bro. And you know what? They only have themselves to blame for all the nonsense they've been getting themselves into. But let's get into this first topic. Now, this first topic has to do with one Mr. Beast. Apparently, good old Mr. Beast, he's at it again, man. He's at it again, making people mad. Let's see what he did this time.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a controversy that is, I guess, involving Mr. Beast, Jacksepticeye, a few other YouTubers as well. But really, this situation here, as, you know, small and contained as it actually is only more of like a symptom of a grander problem that's happening, not even just on YouTube, but basically across all of society at this point. I mean, the AI bubble that has exploded in the last few years is currently reshaping pretty much everything. I mean, kids in college now aren't even writing their own essays. A lot of them, they're just having ChatGPT do it. In a few years, you're gonna have people who are doctors and lawyers and shit using ChatGPT and other products like that to do their jobs, and that is something that is also the same basically for YouTube and other platforms like this.
They're already doing it. Oh man, I hate to correct him on that, but he's not entirely wrong. It's becoming a thing. Like, it's already. I love how he's acting like this is gonna come down the line. It's already happening. Like you said, college students are already not even writing their own essays. Hell, I use ChatGPT myself. I'll be honest. Look, I've been very clear that I do use AI from time to time. It is what it is. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm above this stuff. I'm not. Like, if I find it a use for it, I'm going to use it. And I don't think it's a bad thing to use it. I think becoming heavily reliant on it is a problem, though. And then also, what also I think is a problem is that people are using it and not disclosing that they're using it. I think that's my opinion. I'll get into it afterwards.
So Mr. Beast has partnered with this
Hold
new
on.
tool or whatever that he has been marketing the last couple of days. I'm not sure if he's partnered with it.
A little off topic, my GPU fans are not spinning and it's kind of worrying me a little bit. It's probably fine.
Or if he outright, like, paid for the creation of this whole tool and company or whatever, but basically he has signed on with it and is pushing it as this new revolutionary way to make YouTube thumbnails. So Mr. Beast created a system that allows for YouTubers to AI generate thumbnails that are algorithmically tuned to optimize engagement for their videos. Jacksepticeye has spoken out against him, condemning the practice entirely, and other creators have followed suit.
Yeah. So I don't know if Optimus is going to get into this. Apparently, Jacksepticeye has not been a big fan of Mr. Beast from the get go.
Mr. Beast has had his fair share of controversy in recent years. He has remained the biggest YouTuber in the world in terms of subscribers and average viewership per upload. Now he's introduced a system that allows users to AI generate thumbnails for their YouTube videos in a way that makes their videos much more clickable.
Doesn't something like that already exist? Like, I'm pretty sure you can use ChatGPT for that anyway. Hell, I've used it again. Like I said, I've used it before for some of my thumbnails, not all of them, but some of my thumbnails I've used it in the past. But that's so weird that people. Why would you create something that already exists?
Jacksepticeye has wholly rejected the idea, objecting to his inclusion in Mr. Beast's video demo for the product and calling him out publicly for it. So
Understandable.
just to give you a quick background on it, this like tool or company that Mr. Beast is pushing is called ViewStats, and apparently it's pretty much like any image generation AI software that you've probably already seen or even used. You basically give it a prompt. So for Mr. Beast, it's like, okay, show me doing this thing in this way or whatever, and it generates a thumbnail that's like super fine-tuned for the YouTube algorithm. He showed a demo of it. I'm gonna go ahead and put that up on the screen. As you can see, he basically told the AI, like, hey, put me hanging off a volcano with lava around me or whatever, and it generated these thumbnail concepts.
I'm sorry to keep harping on this, but this seems so pointless. Like, it just seems so pointless to me because it's like, doesn't this already exist? I'm pretty sure something like this already exists. Again, let me know if I'm wrong.
For him that very obviously, I mean, you could
Excuse
just
me.
put this as the thumbnail. It's being kind of touted as this thing where it's like, oh, it can help inspire your new thumbnails or whatever, but no, it's a tool for
Stop the cap.
That's not what it's gonna do. People are gonna use and abuse it to pretty much do work they don't want to do. Which, again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing per se. I'm just saying that, let's be honest, that's what it is.
people to basically make the thumbnail. That's what it is.
Mhm.
And so Mr. Beast did this like debut video where he like showed the use cases for other platform creators and stuff, basically showing like how this tool could be applied for other creators. And Jacksepticeye and a bunch of other people have taken some objection to this entire thing. Now, obviously, AI in general is very controversial right now, especially generative AI, which is what software like this would be considered, because
Again, me personally, I don't have an issue with it. I just have an issue with people not using it and not disclosing it. Oh, not this shit again. Fuck's sake.
basically these AI are trained when like this.
My damn fans are acting up again. So I gotta.
AI in particular, I'm sure, is
I
trained.
gotta reset it.
Basically, you input a shit ton of data and information into it to use that to train it, right? And for something like this, I'm assuming that Mr. Beast or ViewStats or whoever, they basically siphoned through millions of thumbnails from creators on YouTube already, and it worked out a way to define like which parts of thumbnails are the parts that make it more clickable or like.
I'm sorry, guys. Give me like 1 second. I gotta fix this because it's driving me nuts. No. Ugh. Stupid fucking. Can close Discord too, I guess. Here we go. I'll connect. There we go. Jeez. Sorry about that. It's so annoying that when it does that shit.
Make it more engaging to the audience, right?
Like, stay one color. That's the color I told you to stay.
Information, probably largely without anyone's consent, right? And it's able to now generate these thumbnails for YouTubers based on what it learned from all of this unfiltered data or whatever, right? So it's one of those things where a lot of people they freak the fuck out about it because it's taking artists' jobs, it's soulless, it ruins the whole thing about making content and being creative because you're just having a robot do it. And I definitely understand this
understandable
viewpoint because, like myself, right, I think my thumbnails are pretty simple. Usually it's just like find a relevant picture, put some text over it. I mean, it's really not.
He thinks his thumbnails are simple. He should see mine. They're the epitome of simple.
much more complicated than that, but it's gotten me hundreds of millions of views here on this YouTube channel. I mean, for me, that kind of formula has worked, right? So for other creators like Mr. Beast, it's a little different, I guess, but even other creators like Jacksepticeye aren't really thrilled with the concept of this entire thing, right? So what the
Understandable.
actual fuck? And he used my logo in the promotion for it too. I hate what this platform is turning into. Fuck AI, he said, that being
God damn. God damn. Yo. What nationality is Jacksepticeye? Isn't he like Irish or something? But that irrelevant tangent aside, that's funny that he's pissed off like that. Because I don't know. I don't see Jacksepticeye getting angry. Because as long as I've seen him online, he's never been like one of those like rageaholics.
Jacksepticeye.
Let me know what you guys
Jacksepticeye
think.
has been critical of Mr. Beast in the past, believing his approach to content creation is, quote, ruining YouTube, and claiming that his
Understandable.
approach takes the fun out of making videos. This caused
Again, an understandable
beef
critique.
between the two creators, with Jimmy calling Jack's words toward him, quote, insanely disrespectful at the time, though they settled the beef after talking to each other privately. A feud between the two creators may be back on the table. Jack isn't the only one, though, with YouTuber Point Crow calling him out directly. The two YouTubers had a conversation about it, leading to Mr. Beast deleting his tweet and promising changes to the AI tools. Quote, I spend days, weeks, sometimes months thinking of thumbnails, working with artists to craft the perfect one, and you've made something that can steal my and my artist's hard work without a thought. Your model is clearly trained on all our thumbnails and uses them without any creator's permission. It makes it not only easy, but it attempts to make this socially acceptable too.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Reads a small part of Point Crow's critical tweet about Mr. Beast's tool. A few hours later, he posted this, quote, had a chat with Mr. Beast about his AI thumbnail creation tool. While I'm uncertain what will be happening moving forward, I've voiced my thoughts with him directly. Great idea to want to make content creation more accessible, but this isn't remotely the solution to that and actually fundamentally hurts creators as a whole. So,
I'm gonna say this. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I think it's great to make this kind of thing extremely accessible to people. Because let's be real, not everybody can do this. Hell, I can barely fucking do it. But realistically, I agree with him. Yeah, I don't think stealing people's work is really a good idea to do it.
my entire thing on this, right? Like I said, I think I have a pretty basic formula for content here, right? And I don't really intend on shifting from that too much, unless,
Same.
it becomes like completely unfeasible, which I don't see. For me, like
Same.
I said, I just find the image, put the text on it, there's the thumbnail. I don't really break it down to like this crazy science. Now, I know that a lot of creators do. There's a lot of people who put more effort into like videos over time and things than I would, just because, they're making like high cut, high production, high quality overall kind of content. Me, it's just like me rambling into a microphone, right? So
That's pretty much what my content is also. Just me rambling into a mic.
this will inevitably, though, kind of become the meta. And it's unfortunate because, like a lot of other people say, I definitely see the, like, soulless parts of it, right? Where it's like, okay,
Agreed.
you didn't really make this. An artist didn't really make this. This is an amalgamation created by a robot based on a bunch of numbers and binary shit. It's not real, right? Like, this is just a computer doing its best impression of what it thinks a human would do. I get the arguments. Because for me, like, the whole point of YouTube and, like, content creation in general is the idea that it's just me. And I mean, even today, all these, like, I've been doing this for 13 fucking years, right? Even 13 years later, it's literally just me in a room at a setup talking into a microphone playing a video game for gameplay, right? That's
Pretty
been
much
the formula this whole time. Now, obviously, AI is shaking everything up, and for a lot
All right. I'm not going to let the video play out too long, but I will just say this. Sorry. This is what I'm going to say. Yeah, like I said before, I have no issue with people using AI as a tool. That is fine with me. I use it. Hell, you've seen me use it for a lot of my like clip art that I use for some of my videos, and once I've used it for a thumbnail. But unfortunately, I think the issue is people are becoming way too reliant on AI. And that's where the issue becomes. Also, you got this situation now where people are using their thumb. Like AI does, let's be real. AI, they learn, all it does is really learn from other people. It doesn't really make its own stuff, to be realistic. And I think that's part of the issue, is that it's not really creating its own stuff. It's not that it's not creating its own stuff. It's using stuff from other people to create its own stuff, which legality speaking could become an issue down the road, but that's something I suppose we'll come to see. But before we move to this topic, I want to quickly give me like 2 seconds for me to try and find this website. God, I really hate doing these like caption things. They're so annoying. Oh my God, just let me go to the just let me go to Google for Christ's sakes, man. Stop making me do all this shit. Just because I have a VPN on. Ay, ay, ay. The things I do for myself, or to myself. Come on. There we go. Yay. Mr. Beast AI, the mail generator. View stats. There it is. View stats. All right. Give me 1 second. Here's the website. So this apparently Pro Tools new. Here you go. I'm not signing up. Fuck you. There we go. Get to know Pro. Get started now. Now, apparently, I don't see. Apparently, you have to pay for this, which is the thing that a lot of people are. Oh, here we go. Here we go. ViewStats Pro provides users its premium features. The monthly subscription is available at a cost of $50 per month. Alternatively, users can opt for the annual subscription, which is $480. Jesus Christ. What the hell?
Bruh.
Why is this thing why is this $50 a month? You could use ChatGPT for fucking free. Ugh. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. But anyway, let's move on to something else. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a big Windows user. I've used Linux once before, and I've never used it again in college. Oh, don't do that again. Sorry, my fans tried to bug out again. Anyway, recently Microsoft has been doing some weird stuff with Google Chrome. Let's let our friends at TechLinked explain.
Quick, 2 things. 1, I'm going on vacation next week. James or whoever will host. Be nice to him. 2, I forgot what 2 was, which is why I need a vacation. Microsoft has been blocking Google Chrome from running on Windows systems with...
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Let's try that again.
I need a vacation. Microsoft has been blocking Google Chrome from running on Windows systems with the family safety feature enabled for the past few weeks, according
Oh my God. Just when you thought Microsoft couldn't get any worse with Windows, and they find a fucking way. They say, oh, you're using Chrome?
Nope.
Can't have that. You're trying to download another browser other than Microsoft Edge?
Nope.
Can't have that. Nah, this doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Mi- Microsoft has had a really big axe to grind with Chrome because everybody uses Chrome instead of Microsoft Edge. Granted, I use Edge for some stuff. It's not a terrible browser, but it's just slow as shit.
According to multiple reports from teachers and students. And you can tell they're students because the report is, okay, so this morning I woke up and got on my computer to go to Chrome and start my day. Next thing I know, boom, Chrome keeps closing itself. I then try for a while. I keep restarting my computer and trying to open Chrome, but nothing works. So I uninstalled it and tried to reinstall it, but it doesn't work. It just keeps saying the same thing. No update available. What the hell is going on? I then did a command prompt in admin to scan for corrupt files, and it did find corrupt files and fix them, but Google still won't re-download them. I even tried the standalone installer, but it still didn't work. I'm freaking out like the standalone installer starts to work, gets about 2/3 of the way, then just closes. I have no idea what to do. Please help! And
Bro, not just students do that, end users do that.
to be clear, it is specifically
Ow.
Chrome being blocked. Other browsers don't seem to be affected, and this Redditor got Chrome to launch by renaming the chrome.exe file to chrome1.exe.
That's hilarious.
You might think, an unfortunate bug. And sure, maybe, but despite this issue first surfacing on June 3rd, Microsoft hasn't officially said anything about fixing it. They've only given instructions on how to unblock Chrome to specific users that contact them for support. And it's
That's actually hilarious.
not like Microsoft doing shady things to steer users away from Google would be anything new. Just this year, they made the Bing search results page auto-scroll down just enough to hide the Bing logo. And last year, Microsoft's Edge browser was caught automatically opening itself after a Windows 11 update, having decided on its own to import people's Chrome tabs. But hey,
Yeah, that's not surprising.
I mean, how are people going to discover that they prefer Edge if they never get a chance to have it shoved in their face without asking? Adobe
Oh, yeah. Like I said, honestly, for those of you who don't know, specifically my Kick audience, I am an IT guy by day. Like, I have a full-time job as an IT tech. And I've been doing it for half a decade now, so about 5-6 years. And every time I've installed Windows on a computer, it always complains when I install Chrome, which is I find fucking hilarious. Cuz cuz the funny thing is Microsoft's browsers are never any better. Internet Explorer was dog water. And Edge, again, like I said, Edge isn't terrible. It's better than IE, but it's so slow. Compared to Chrome, it's so slow. And honestly, this is my hot take. You shouldn't even be using Chrome anymore unless you're using it for work. Don't ever, in my opinion, you should be using something like Brave browser or Opera. Hell, even Firefox. Do not use Chrome as your main browser anymore because Chrome has been doing a lot of shady things themselves. But then again, what do I know? I'm just a guy on a microphone. And one you and one you should subscribe to. There we go. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. If you're on the live, stay tuned for the after show, and if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, thanks for watching as always. Stay tuned for the meme of the day, and I will see you next time. Peace. Alrighty. Let me find something for you guys to watch. Close that. Ooh. You know what we can talk about? Penguin Zero. Where is his video on? Where's his Stop Killing Games video? Because that's something I want to get into as well. because apparently there's been an update with the Stop Killing Games situation where Pirate Software pretty much really did a horrible job representing the movement. And apparently people called him out for it. And let's see what. Sorry. Let's see what Charlie has to say about it.
Most of you have noticed over the last 10 or 11 months, I've been a lot happier, glowing, really radiant. You can tell.
I'm going to say something that's going to sound extremely mean, but Charlie, it's hard for me to tell these days. Maybe that's just his personality, but it's so hard to tell when he's like genuinely happy.
Probably just from my voice alone and this striking smile. So what is the secret to this newfound happiness of mine?
I forgot to mute that. Should have muted that. My bad.
The one trick doctors don't want you to know. I haven't been online as much. I've been going outside far more frequently, spending time in the real world.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And as such, I'm sure many
That'll
of you
do
have
it.
noticed over the last 10 or 11 months, internet drama hasn't been a huge focal point of the channel because I haven't seen a whole bunch of it. I haven't kept up with the vast majority of it.
Lucky him.
And of course, occasionally I've still dipped my tootsies in some of it, like if there's something particularly wacky going on, and I still cover like news and crazy shit going on with aliens and all of that kind of thing, or if there's like a really cringe, prankster that got arrested or something, I'll still talk about that. But it's not like a fixation for me like it used to be over the last few years where I was covering any and all internet creator space hoopla.
Alrighty.
I want to keep it that way. I'm having a lot more fun not doing that. That being
I'm going to be honest, I'm considering the same thing. I'm considering the same thing because covering YouTube drama is so exhausting. I've come to notice. It's so exhausting.
said, there is something that has unfolded here that's like the John Wick killing the dog moment that's bringing me back, just very temporarily. And it's Pirate Software.
Oh,
Yesterday
God.
I talked about Stop Killing Games. And there's no way to talk about Stop Killing Games without also mentioning Pirate Software because of the profound effect he has had on that initiative in its demise. I say demise, but it's not actually fully cooked, but it has been on life support, and Pirate Software did play a big role in that because of 2 videos he made, as well as a stream, shitting all over it. And that's not even doing it justice. He was full-blown tooting on this. He was shitting on it with some fart on top.
God
A lot of
damn.
what he was saying about Stop Killing Games wasn't accurate. It was a misrepresentation of the initiative. And the guy behind it, the guy spearheading it, Ross, finally set the record straight on a lot of the misconceptions that Pirate Software helped to put out there and kind of exacerbate these thought processes that just weren't accurate for what the initiative was actually aiming to do. He finally set the record straight. And I, of course, wanted to talk about it as someone who does actually care about it. Now, as I've said, I've been a little more off the grid. I bought a fucking farm, so I've been, living off the Lord's land recently, and I
What a farm. Oh, my God.
missed a lot of the internet happenings. So, Pirate Software's previous anime arcs of drama, like with World of Warcraft, and the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that, and the
Jesus.
one after that, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to. I only got little tiddlywinks, little morsels of lore about it in a few clips, so I never really even understood what was going on there. So Pirate Software's response to everything that happened yesterday
Oh,
really
no.
caught me by surprise. That was a subversion of my expectations, bigger than Game of Thrones Season 8.
Yeah, Hutcher, I did. I think it's really hilarious to me that that entire community is so butt mad at me for putting out a video 10 months ago about their stuff and then not being refuted, and now it's my fault that everything is going wrong for them.
Yeah, because you misrepresented everything. And then the guy who's spearheading the movement had to literally come out and say, no, this guy's lying.
Cannot believe his ego. His ego is so out of control, I feel like he's only a week or 2 away from exclusively referring to himself in third person, like Stone Cold fucking Steve Austin.
Oh, Lord.
And that's the truth, because Pirate Software said so. Some shit like that. It's crazy how he's responded. The smugness is nails on a chalkboard. It just makes you feel icky listening to it. And he goes on that same talking point multiple times in the clip. about
Oh my
how, like,
lord.
oh, I guess I'm fully to blame. I guess because I made those videos 10 months ago, it's my fault entirely.
Yeah, God forbid you made a shit video and people were calling you out for it. You know how many times that's happened to me?
That this whole
Jeez.
thing crashed and burned. Yep. Oh boy. Time to play a sad song on the world's smallest violin for the Stop Killing Games movement. All because Big Bad Pirate Software took it all down by himself. Like, it's crazy. No one's saying that. Like, there is no one out there that is saying it is entirely Pirate Software's fault that Stop Killing Games hasn't been more successful in its endeavors. But there's irrefutable evidence that you had a detrimental effect, a majorly damaging effect on Stop Killing Games because of your misinformation that you spread about it in 2 videos and across all your streams, and not once have you bothered to correct that record. And
That makes this so much worse. It's one thing to be wrong. It's a hell of a lot worse when you don't admit when you're wrong. Like, oh my God. Like, this is the problem that a lot of these big streamers have, is that they can't admit when they're wrong, and when they're proven wrong, they either double down or they play victim. It's like, bruh, cut it out already.
he has said that it hasn't been refuted in 10 months. That is fish paste. That is turbo horseradish. Go to your own comment section on your videos to see everyone refuting you, as well as the innumerable
Fans of my GPU are still not spinning.
other gamers and voices out there that have taken
It's still
down
not
those
spinning.
talking points and debunked
Oh,
a lot of them
no.
and proven that you just didn't understand it. And that is the big problem. No one hates Pirate Software.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, I'm not worried about it. I'm just making light of the situation.
Because he doesn't agree with Stop Killing Games. The reason so many people are angry at him, myself included here, you can disagree with the movement all you want. If you don't like the initiative, I'm not your fucking dad. You make your own choices there. But the reason so many people,
I stand by that.
myself included, do not like how Pirate Software is handling all this is he is outright refusing to just admit any level of fault, that he was wrong about anything. And that couldn't be more clear from these clips, as well as his tweets that he's made. It's actually his tweets that really sent me off the fucking rails here, off my gourd. Let's start with this little nugget here that he deleted from last night. So he tweeted directly at Ross, the guy behind Stop Killing Games,
Cursed
talking about how
Farms.
he made those videos 10 months ago, and since then, his community has been nothing but hateful. A scourge. A fucking tyrannid threat that...
All right, let's read this shit. Sub Accursed Farms. I put out 2 videos disagreeing with your initiative 10 months ago and haven't talked about it since. That's bullshit. Now your initiative has failed and you're blaming me for 33 minutes of the hour-long video covering it. Your community is out in force, shitting up our streams and socials with hate messages, threats, and snide comments. Okay. I don't condone the threats, but I can understand them. I don't condone them though. Never send threats to streamers. I don't care if you disagree with them. Since you're so set on cutting up my responses into pieces to try to make seem unhinged, I'm going to drop my videos here to show the actual context. There's also a massive pinned FAQ on the first video you can read through to see my reason. Excuse me. To quote back to you, if you're going to hate me, at least hate me for what I'm actually saying. The only engagement I've seen that is level-headed that has been from Lewis Rossman. Shout out to Lewis Rossman. This video breaks down what I disliked and tried to meet in the middle with the conversation that makes sense. As such, I engaged with him on the video and screenshot it below. I'm fine talking to people that are level-headed about this and can have a conversation, but to be real, dude, every time you've been involved with orbiters turn shit toxic instantly, and it sets me off. Your community is fucking rabid, and it's shit to deal with for anyone on the other side of the argument. Why do you think I haven't talked about this shit in 10 months? Why do you think we auto-mute anyone bringing it up in chat? Because it's been range bait and shit flinging the entire time. You own Reddit. Your own Reddit has had people opening openly talking about causing drama in our community to try to stir up more support. I still disagree with your movement for all of the reasons I stated. That's unlikely to change, and at this point, I am more than fine with that. Stay frosty.
He must
Apologies for butchering it. That
destroy.
ugh.
Your community is fucking rabid, and it's shit to deal with for anyone on the other side of the argument. Why do you think I haven't talked about this shit in 10 months? Why do you think we auto-mute anyone bringing it up in chat?
Because you know you're wrong and you don't want to deal with it.
It's been rage bait and shit flinging the entire time. And just goes on about like how he is the victim of Ross's toxic, terrible community, which is hilariously hypocritical coming from Pirate Software, when in his videos and his streams, he makes it very clear and is very rude about how much he dislikes not only Ross, but the movement. And it's not like he's being very professional and polite about it, you know, buttoned up. Listen to it.
So this was my first encounter of him.
Oh shit, now this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful.
Oof.
That is horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude. Now, eat my entire ass. The level of
Jeez, man, what the hell?
stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move.
Oh my
This is
lord.
ass. This is complete
Lord.
garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I dropped the mask entirely.
What the
I have
fuck,
no
man?
problems about that. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing. That sounds stupid as shit.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Ross and his community that are actually the assholes here. Brother, come on, you can't
Jesus
possibly be calling
Christ.
the ambulance with a side of French fries here about people being mean to you when you are literally the one that started the shit flinging and name calling. And by the way, Ross never even addressed this for 10 months because he didn't want to dilute the initiative into just having it be boiled down to drama between creators, which I think was actually very big of him. The only reason he's talking
Agreed.
about it now is because it's at the end of its life, and so many people still don't understand it because of someone like Pirate Software misrepresenting it. So he's finally setting the record straight there. Anyway, he did delete that tweet, but just a little while ago, he made a new tweet, a very long tweet, as well as a series of tweets under it in regards to this whole thing. And in all these words, all this mumbo jumbo, not once does he say he was wrong about anything. In fact, he just continues to double down, even proudly stating he is doubling down. Wow, how incredibly noble, doubling down on things
Oh
you
my
are
God.
provably, blatantly wrong about. We don't need to hit the Jumbotron for the replay on yesterday's video going over so many of the things that he was incorrect about in regards to the initiative. But the point is, that is an issue that I really thought that he would address. Be like, hey, yeah, I did get this part wrong. You're right, guys. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to misrepresent it. I still don't fully agree with it, but I do recognize that I had some
Oh my
errors in
God.
coverage. That's what I was expecting. That is not what we got. And it prompted me to reach out directly to him, to talk to him, to see, like, why isn't he acknowledging that? Is there a reason? Like, what is going on there? So I did. He made it very clear he was not very happy with my coverage of Stop Killing Games, which is fine. I think that's totally fine. I'm not going to leak DMs or really go in depth on our private conversation, but the point of me reaching out to him was to talk about his refusal to acknowledge that he did, maybe unintentionally, misrepresent Stop Killing Games.
Streamlabs not
And
working?
it led to a just shy
Oh no, don't tell me the bot's not working. Ay.
2 hours.
I gotta
like,
fix that now.
circular argument that ultimately got us nowhere. He was more focused on his qualms with Stop Killing Games and really liked to challenge me to prove him wrong about some of his hang-ups with it. And when I would mention like the behavior aspect, like, hey, you did misrepresent it, and I'd give him a timestamp, he'd then instead say how I'm wrong for thinking that he misrepresented it. We got nowhere. So I want to just publicly say this again.
Oh, he's there.
There are plenty of things you can disagree with when it comes to the Stop Killing Games initiative. I'll put links to it if you want to learn more about it. You can form your own opinions on it if you want to support it. If you don't like it, that's fine.
Ay.
It's super normal. And I didn't reach out to try and champion that Pirate Software should become, you know, a huge ambassador of Stop Killing Games, you know, out there on the fucking front lines fighting for it. It had nothing to do with that. It was simply about the misunderstanding that he showcased, maybe unintentionally, and the misrepresentation of it that he broadcast. Again, maybe unintentionally. Which has, in turn, over the course of 10 months, misled
Alrighty.
people on what the fuck Stop Killing Games even is in the first place. Which I found to be a problem because he's never even acknowledged that as something. something that has happened. And because he refuses to acknowledge that, and anyone that even like tiptoes around that subject, he kind of treats as though they're fucking idiots like me for thinking that he's misrepresented something. Now, he did just post a tweet where he said he talked to me and Josh Strife Hayes, and in that tweet, this will prove how useless our conversation was, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
There's not a single peep about misrepresenting what Stop Killing Games was about. It's more so about how the public just doesn't understand game development, and it kind of reads to me like we're all just too stupid to understand it from his side of things.
Some people are just so fucking hard-headed, man. It's crazy. It is crazy.
Our conversation
Ugh.
basically amounted to toilet paper, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Again, I was focused on, you have done this, maybe unintentionally. You should at least say that you have, or like, you know, are you aware that you did this? And then
Oh,
it
my
became more
Lord.
of like, nope, I didn't. You're wrong. And then he uses our conversation at the start of this for something that was not even the focus. I was not there to try and convince him to be part of Stop Killing Games. I don't think we made any ground on like his perspective versus mine on Stop Killing Games. He has some qualms about how difficult it would be in certain cases. I agree with that, for sure. I still think overall Stop Killing Games is a net positive for the gaming industry where something desperately needs to change with a lot of these awful practices. But
I 100% agree with that.
for the 10 millionth time in the last 2.5 hours, it was just about him having this awareness that his coverage did mislead people, and that he, maybe not maliciously or anything, misunderstood or misrepresented Stop Killing Games in numerous instances. And the way that he talked about Ross was unacceptable. That at least made it into the tweet there about the way he talked about Ross being like a fucking used car salesman type deal, and like calling everything about it ass. He at least recognized that that was too harsh. So he gave a quick I'm sorry for that, which is good.
That's a
I
step
do
in the right
appreciate that,
direction.
and I'm sure Ross will appreciate that as well, I imagine. But I still wanted to make this video after the conversation because I just really do not understand. I truly cannot wrap my head around why he fights tooth and nail coming for throats for anyone that tries to mention that there was misrepresentation in his coverage
Well, that's easy because he has a big ego. Plain and simple.
of the Stop Killing Games initiative. He is so hell-bent on proving he's right and everyone else is wrong that's saying these things. I just don't get it. He's just treating it like he's got the mega mind, once-in-a-generation galaxy brain that no one can possibly understand. All us plebeians are beneath him, and we're lucky that he even graces us with
Plebeians,
streams. We're
oh
stupid
God.
for thinking that he did anything wrong here in regards to his coverage of Stop Killing Games and what it's actually about. It's just so odd to me. Because if he would just come out and be like, yeah, you know what? Looking back on it, really reflecting, hearing what you guys are saying, I can see why this was so misleading for so many people. I didn't mean for it to be, and yeah, maybe I misunderstood some of these things. This would not have been nearly as big of a deal as it has turned into. I went back and looked at some of his previous...
All right, I think we get the point. I think we get the point. Now, let's see. Ooh, we got an Actman video.
There used to be
An Actman. I'm going to start this running joke on the channel that him and Mudahar made my career. If I ever hit it big on YouTube or Twitch or anywhere, it's going to be because of this guy and Mudahar.
a time where I didn't think much of China's video game industry because I'm an American and I don't have to think. I was under the
Yeah.
impression that all they wanted to do was create the same endless supply of gacha games fueled by microtransactions, loot boxes, and that they just wanted to make the exact same kind of game with a different coat of paint. But the last year or so has shown me quite the opposite. In fact, Western game developers might even be in shambles now, looking at what
Might be in shambles. They are in shambles.
China has been cooking up.
Hell,
First,
the majority of the fucking Western gaming industry is in shambles.
Black Myth Wukong came out. That game hit
Ooh.
some insane numbers on Steam. Did you
I still gotta finish that game. I have not finished that game because it's so fucking hard. It's so hard. It's fantastic, but so hard. I might try and finish it on my leisure time.
No, fun fact, fun monkey fact.
Oh
It
God.
is still the second most played game on Steam in terms of concurrent players.
Bullshit. That's crazy. What's number one? Wait a minute.
The second most played game
People are still playing PUBG? You can't be
on
serious.
Steam in terms of concurrent players.
That's
But
insane.
Black Myth Wukong not only resonated with Chinese audiences, but American audiences too. We got to see this side of Chinese culture that we don't often see represented in media, movies, TV shows, or video games. It was a solid Souls-like experience. Could have been a fluke though, could have been a fluke. That is until
Marvel
NetEase
Rivals.
also came out with Marvel Rivals. That was like an underappreciated gem. I don't think many people know about Marvel Rivals. It kind of flew under the radar. It's kind of crazy to see a Chinese developer take an American IP and beat another
Ultron.
American developer at their own game. NetEase made a better Overwatch than the sequel to Overwatch.
That's so sad. That's so sad, man.
See, Marvel Rivals had this crazy revolutionary idea of letting everybody play all of the heroes for free. It's something Star Wars Battlefront 2 couldn't quite figure out. Something that
That's crazy.
Blizzard and Overwatch 2 couldn't quite figure out. Marvel Rivals proved that yes, free-to-play live service games can succeed, and this is what they should be. So my eyes are open now. I'm paying much more attention to video games China is putting out than I ever have before. Which brings us to the latest entry, in a game called Blood Message. Get this,
Ooh.
It's a AAA single-player game. AAA? Single player? I haven't heard those words in a long time.
Neither have I, man. Because the majority of the games coming out of the AAA gaming industry are live service mess.
But this is NetEase's premiere trailer for a new game that appears to be a sort of God of War, Assassin's Creed, action-adventure type game.
Ooh, this
And
could
I
be interesting.
hesitate to compare it to those two, because when I watched the trailer, it felt so different from any other game I'd seen before. You know, we've seen plenty of games
Ghosts.
set in like medieval Japan, playing as a samurai. Your eyes kind of can clue into that. But this was medieval China, and it carried a very distinct visual style that, like, had me scratching my head. I didn't know what to compare it to, and I feel like sometimes that's all I do. Because I'm, like, comparing this year's Call of Duty to last year's Call of Duty. You know,
Oh,
the
boy.
1,400 Call of Duties before that, you know?
I'm not. Am I the only one that's kind of nervous about this year's COD? Because I loved Black Ops 2. It's by far one of my favorite COD games of all time. And to think that they're doing a sequel to this game, especially with the way Activision is now, I'm a little worried.
Message is a single-player game set during the Tang Dynasty. Now, had this dynasty been in Age of Empires 2, I could tell you all about it, but it wasn't, so I know nothing. And
Neither
was
do I.
lucky enough that they actually reached out to me and wanted to sponsor me to watch the trailer and react to it. So I did that on stream a few days ago. Now, before we watch it together, just remember, this is just a trailer. Things are subject to change. The game may not actually look like this at release. Let's hope it does. But keep your expectations in check. And I'd say, keep an eye on this one. Blood Message official reveal trailer. 2 million views, 7,900 comments. All right, let's give it a gander.
Let's
Here
do
we go.
this.
2 million views in a day. Not bad.
Wait, in a day? That's not bad. That's great.
大唐还在的时候，丝路上的灯火从西域一直亮到长安，
Silk Road mention?
能点亮天上的星。
Ooh, sorry. Very friendly dude. Apologies for not seeing your message, man. Awesome stream. I got a very extreme opinion about POC. Is this stream anti-POC friendly? I am a POC, so I would be very careful. I mean, you can say it if you want. Just be very careful.
大堂离我们太远了，神佛还会比我和稀吗？我是认真决定的，我还是想再试一次。
Where's the set? If it's in a desert.
That's a very good question.
我们所流的血，是为了把大唐带回来。
24 Entertainment. I'm not familiar with them.
Neither am I. But this does look interesting.
Ooh, okay. There's no way the game is actually gonna look like that.
Oof.
等着我。阿娘，阿娘。阿爷。
If it actually looks like that, that's gonna be...
去长安。
That'll be the major test. Okay.
Dude, this looks interesting.
Alright, that was pretty fucking sick.
I might buy this. Depending on how much they charge.
Yo, but if it does look this good, it's over.
And especially if the price is good. Yeah, this does look like God of War.
Okay. Ooh. That looks pretty
Yes.
没有我的帮助，你走不出这片沙漠。
Ooh.
Llamas? No, camels. I like camels.
That fucking comment. That fucking comment. Oh, man.
I don't know if I've ever seen a game that looks quite like this. In terms of like the style setting.
This is a long ass trailer, too.
如果神不肯拯救我们，
Oh, feet!
让我来。
Wait, rewind.
Calm down, you horny bastards.
Rewind.
Do not rewind.
For all you sickos out there. Ooh. That was a nice shot.
Ooh. Blood message.
All right, China's been cooking up some games.
That's true,
They
man.
have been cooking.
I gotta say, man. I'm interested in this game now. When is it coming out?
Sonic World's Racing Choice. Okay, if the gameplay actually looks like this, graphics, right? If it looks like that, it looks too good to be true, bro.
This trailer was only 4 minutes or only 5 minutes. It felt longer.
That's what I thought about like Marvel Rivals when I played it. Black Myth Wukong, Marvel Rivals, and now Blood Message. China's cooking. They're cooking with games right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only other things to think of with a game like this, number one, is it gonna feel like you're playing a game or watching a cutscene? You know what I mean? Yeah, it needs to feel like you're actually playing, as opposed to like, you press a button or two and then, a 5-second animation plays and you don't really have control over it. I thought that looked pretty dang good. It's usually hard to sell me on a game where it's like,
Agreed.
it's all a different language that I don't understand. It's hard to sell me on that, but if you really know the style and the
I can tolerate it.
vibe, I feel like I can get
If the
behind
gameplay
that.
is good, I can
So,
tolerate it.
pretty solid. All right, but it remains to be seen if the game will actually look like that.
What
Black
is-
Myth Wukong was like fantastical. Journey to the West, not really realistic, so to speak. Are there that many games that are like set in medieval China?
No!
So here are my thoughts after watching the trailer a second time. Number one, I think it's cool to see a side of Chinese history that we don't often see in media over in the US.
Agreed.
Blood Message looks distinctly different from every other like typical Japanese samurai type game. I can't quite put my finger on what is different or why it feels different, but it does. And I think it's cool
That's
that
true.
games like this are starting to hit mainstream over in the West, because this is, you know what? I'll say it. Cultural diversity is important. And I think diverse businesses help each other compete and make the best products. We've seen far too many flops and failures, and the AAA game industry in the West is like, oh yeah, let's put another $100 million into this failed idea that's gonna die within 6 months of release, and then oh yeah, let's keep laying off more staff. What's up, Microsoft? That stuff happens far too often in the West, and it's just nice to see a AAA single player focused game that appears to have no catch-22, and they have their shit together. It's safe to say that Western game development dominance supremacy is at least being challenged. If you've been
I agree,
on
man.
Chinese video games,
I 100% agree, man. Like, we've been having way too many AAA flops these past few years. Give us something good.
lately, I think it's time to wake up. Here are some small cool details that I noticed. When a guy gets punched into the wood here, it breaks. Now, if all of the environments can be damaged this way during combat, that's pretty fucking cool. Judging by the horse and the cluster of guys, I think it's safe to say that there's gonna be battles in big groups, including horses. So the choice of location is interesting. And it also looks like there's gonna be puzzles. Despite that most of this was shown in like a desert, they've showed off a wide variety of gameplay, which is nice because variety is the spice of life. Thank you to 24 Entertainment for sponsoring this video. You can visit the official Blood Message website and follow their social media accounts, which will be linked in the description if you want to stay tuned on future updates and announcements for the game. Blood Message looks pretty fucking cool, and I think it's safe to say, given the...
Alrighty. That's enough out of you, Act Man. Before I let you guys go, I want to check out this website real quick. Alrighty. Damn, look at these models, man. They're really good. All right, let's do this. Hey. No, I'm not subscribing to your newsletter. I just want a release date, man. That's all I want. All right, enough. Let me see. Ooh, NetEase Games. So no release date, huh? Ah, all right, fine. Fine. I'll just look it up myself. Ay. Hold on. Ugh. Let me put on some music. There we go. Where's stupid capture? There we go. Okay, 1 second. Blood. Message. There we go. Blood message release date. Oh, there's no official release date. No wonder I can't find it. Of fucking course. Ah, boy. Alright, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna call it. I am gonna call it. Thank you all for being here, as always. And before we go, I am going to clear my soundboard.
Bruh. Nope.
Yep.
What the fuck? I don't care.
Stop the cap.
Dumbass motherfucker.
Brother, this guy stinks.
You going to jail? You going to jail?
Alright, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a good night. Peace.